Big changes at ITV. No one resigning yet, other than Phillip Schofield. But ITV, well, a humiliating climb down has been forced when they announced yesterday they were going to appoint, well, Carolyn McCall, the chief executive of ITV, a barrister to carry out an external review of what really went on with Phillip Schofield's affair, who knew what, when, what investigations took place, and was there any wrongdoing. This, of course, ahead of next Tuesday, when senior executives of the company will be having to appear before the Culture Select Committee and MPs be able to ask them questions. Let's talk to Nigel Pauley, who's a media commentator and joins us once again. Good morning to you.
Morning, Julia.
Thank you very much, Steve, for joining us. Well, you joined us on Tuesday morning. This story has certainly moved on. ITV, very much, resignation was only last Friday. They would say, oh, we knew nothing. Oh, we've been lied to. It's terrible. It's terrible. Things have changed now. I mean, in terms of where this is moving, this is not looking good for ITV executives, is it?
It's not. This is backside covering, a bit belatedly, that they're obviously trying to put down a flat bat before next Tuesday so they can tell MPs that they'd love to discuss it, but there's an external inquiry. And clearly they are trying to save their reputations and the reputations of ITV. Phillip Schofield did the honourable thing, slightly belatedly, but took responsibility eventually for what he was alleged to have done.
Did he take responsibility, or did they basically say it's untenable and the rumours are rife, and after your brother has been convicted and charged, with sentenced to 12 years behind bars for child sex abuse, basically we can't even tweet anymore because everyone's just saying horrible things. You're going to have to go. He was forced out. He didn't do the honourable thing.
He was forced out. But what's happening here with this inquiry, it looks that Jane Mulcahy, she was the lady who represented the English Cricket Board in the racism allegations at Yorkshire, and if you remember, pinned Michael Vaughan, the England captain, quite badly. He was actually cleared in that inquiry. Several of the others weren't. She also represented Manchester City in a sex abuse case, and a couple of other footballers. She, in privacy cases, she is a very hard-edged from Blackstone Chambers, and it's always difficult and a dangerous policy when you get an outside KC into your dirty laundry.
Yeah. And who also has their own reputation to maintain and not necessarily the reputation of ITV. I thought it was interesting also that there was this crisis meeting yesterday with senior executives. All had been away on their half-term breaks. They all had to come back to attend that meeting, and this is the comeuppance from it. I mean, this is the thing in terms of what this will end up changing, because they needed to announce something ahead of this probe by MPs next Tuesday, didn't they? That was the crucial. They needed to have been seen to, quote, do something.
They did, and also the share prices. I mean, they said the share price was okay, but the share price tumbled to 69p yesterday. It was 80 at the beginning of last week. It was 90 in February. The share price is going down, and advertisers are getting twitchy, and ratings are falling. All those things are bad. Under Carolyn McCall, Dame Carolyn McCall, the share price of ITV has dropped 58%. She has been involved in several. Well, she hasn't personally been involved, but on her watch, we've had Jeremy Kyle being axed. We had Piers Morgan, both now on your radio, on your station, and we also had Love Island and Caroline Flack.
Yeah.
So she needs to step up. There are 4 executives who've been named in these stories: head of daytime, head of the show, and head of ITV. Clearly, they are concerned about what they knew. This inquiry, though, because she was saying, Dame McCall said yesterday that this is looking into. There've been inaccurate reporting. This was looking into the surrounding of him leaving. Well, they were denying anything happened. They were denying they knew anything a few days ago. So, the inaccuracy is also coming out of ITV. They finally said, this guy who didn't exist or wasn't around, he left a couple of years ago. They're still giving him help. That's quite unusual.
That's very. It never happened in any building I've worked in. But also the fact that the revelation, well, not the revelation, the refusal to deny, which means you accept that it has happened, a payoff to this young man. Why was a very junior staffer given money? And we know lots of people have been asked to sign non-disclosure agreements and the like as well. It's all looking very fishy, and it looks like an awful lot of people knew about this. Lots of pressure still on Holly Willoughby. She's been on the front page saying she's going to return on Monday. Now people say they don't know if that will happen or not. This is after the half-term break. She would normally be off now, but took an extra week beforehand. She apparently, now you'll tell me whether this is significant or not, she removed this morning from her Instagram page, in bio. Is that significant? Should we read anything into that? That she's fine, she's going to be fine at ITV, her career will be solid, but it's not going to be on This Morning anymore?
I think her career will be okay, but I think the career will be okay if she leaves This Morning. Now, she's not going to leave the sofa next week, because that would just put, fuel on the fire, fuel the flames, because they need to have some stability. Poor old Dermot O'Leary and Alison Hammond are having to go on there and make explanations, very bad ones, like the dog ate my homework, and it's got nothing really to do with them. Holly Willoughby, I think, to save her own career and the product, what ITV have invested in her, needs to get away from This Morning. I think ITV need to totally reboot this programme, start again in September. They normally have a bit of a summer break for the two main presenters, and others take over. They have the ITV summer, they all go to the seaside. I think this year there'll be a lot of thought into how do they bring this back. And will Holly be a bit odd being on her own with someone else?
Well, they've done that lots of time when Phillip Schofield's been off. I mean, it's going to be fascinating to watch the ins and outs of this.